Welcome, tributes, to the 75th annual Lunch Table episode. I don't even know what I'm saying. Welcome to another episode, guys, of the Lunch Table podcast. In this episode, we are revisiting a popular franchise, The Hunger Games, since the new movie is coming out pretty soon, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's actually nice to kind of go back to this franchise. I know it was popular back in the day, but Akram, let's get your thoughts.
Rachel Zegler. But no, this really started Jennifer Lawrence's career. I know she was in the other movie, The Winter's Bones, and even I think won an Oscar for that or something. I remember that a long time ago. So she had a strong start in her career. And the first movie, I think was super iconic and impactful as well, because not only was it like a young adult or just like a kid's book, and that sold really well, but also because the idea and the imagery of showing these people fight each other was really terrifying and shocking. I remember I was nervous when I was young just looking at that, and I think they went about it like the appropriate way. And also there was maybe teen drama between Peeta and Katniss a little bit later on, a little triangle action with Gale, you know.
Have you read the books?
I read so I remember in high school, like
name
most
10
people.
Books. No,
name 10 books. Now I remember that they were a little bit different. I'm not gonna lie, especially the later half. But I think for the most part, the first one was a more truer to the source material. They were fine movies. You know, they're good to look back on. Yeah.
Hey, I only read the first book, but that was pretty faithful. And yeah, I would agree. They're good movies. And I remember how I think in 2012, that's really when I want to say the Twilight fatigue was happening. So I feel like a lot of the younger audience, and we were in high school back in the day, so we were probably like following the coattails of that.
Right.
So and then after Hunger Games came, it was like this whole trend of like teen action movies like Divergent, The Maze Runner. So it was cool to see that that trend still remained true. But as for the Hunger Games, I thought it was interesting. I like the idea of this dystopian society kind of focused more on younger people, because in a way they are kind of like the future, so you kind of have to shape it through these younger people. And I think it's actually a perfect personification of class warfare and how the Capitol is kind of like pitting all these people against each other, because that's really how you control people, is like you don't make you the enemy, you make everybody else the enemy. So it's like they can't really focus on fighting the Capitol, because there is this like big rebellion happening at the same time the Hunger Games are happening, but they're pitting each district against each other, so it's like they can't really focus on fighting the Capitol when they're focused on fighting each other. And I love that there's like so much, it's not just like fighting that happens, but there's also kind of like this drama that happens. They have to kind of win over these like sponsors, right? It's kind of like Katniss has to play both a aristocrat, like a socialite, and also a warrior at the same time. I thought that was really interesting how she kind of has to play both sides to get what she wants. I think like the casting overall was pretty great. Like Donald Sutherland as President Snow, I think he was like one of my favorite villains in a movie. I think like he brings such a presence as President Snow. Like he's like one of those villains, like he doesn't have to raise his voice to show that he's in power. He could just literally have a conversation with you, and like he's almost like what's the name from The Boys?
The vice president or whatever.
The president,
the president of Vault or something.
Yeah, he's like that character. Like he's in power, and like he doesn't have to say much, but he could like switch on you in a minute and like
Giancarlo Esposito's character.
His character. Yeah, Stan Edgar. He's exactly like Stan Edgar. Like he's in power. So I always thought he was like, he brought such a presence like on screen. Also, I loved Philip Seymour Hoffman as Plutarch. He's like one of my favorite characters, and I forget if he passed before the third one. I don't remember him being in the third one, so maybe he passed before that. It was a shame because I loved his portrayal as Plutarch. He was so interesting. But yeah.
Wait, who again?
Plutarch. He was the game maker in the second one.
What's the actor's name?
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Remember he played
Oh,
Plutarch?
right, yeah. Oh, rest in peace, man.
I know.
Yeah,
That
such a
was
great
such a shame.
actor. Yeah, it's been a minute since I seen these movies. And I thoroughly enjoyed them because I think it did feel sometimes, I don't know, it's like something really, it's kind of like the Maze Runner as well, because it's like really serious. And a lot of kids have read this in high school, but I like the way how they take it very serious as well. And it's like political in a way. And so I enjoyed that. And then when it got to the action sequences, I think it was really unique how they approached different, maps or something like different Fortnite maps. It's like a battle royale.
Sure.
So that was really cool. And then again, it's just the drama from the little love triangle and stuff like that. And I don't think we're really gonna get. They're trying to do the Ballad of Songbirds and Dick, whatever. But there's something about that era where you had all these novel adaptations. It really died off with 50 Shades of Grey, not gonna lie. And then they're trying to kind of bring it back, but I don't think it's going to really work too, especially with the backlash of some of the actors from the new one. But as for the old ones, I think there's like a magic to it, and the CGI wasn't bad whatsoever. The world building wasn't bad. I love how they played with color grading as well when it was Katniss's district. And what was her district? But Katniss's district was like District 9,
District
right?
12.
With the aliens, like South Africa. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
District 9.
Yeah. No, even the way how they played with the color grading, and it was really muted and just really depressing looking. I think how they approached color was really something they took. It was important to do, especially with the new movie. I heard there's differences between some of the trailers for the new movie, and so you could tell that color really plays a huge part, especially with the costuming as well, because the coloring of the costuming, and then the dresses and stuff. Absolutely. So like everything, they pay attention to the details, and that's what I appreciated. And I think that's why these movies still. You could kind of look back and they still, stand the test of time. And, it seems like they put a lot of care to these movies. And I do appreciate that. And I think it was fruitful as well. It had a huge fan following, and it was fruitful for some of these people's careers. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I think that we'll always remember these movies. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think after Hunger Games, there was like this big trend of like dystopian movies that came after. Mm-hmm. How do you think this kind of like separates itself from movies we've probably already seen that have like similar themes, with like authority and authoritarian like mm-hmm. governments and stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole premise, I think we've seen a lot of what's going on in the districts and other movies, but when it gets to the actual capital, that's something that's completely unique. There's this type of Roman Empire vibe to it. And I think that we don't really see much of that, aside from probably Star Wars, because some of these people look like they just came out of Star Wars, and it was amazing. And again, the way how they approach these the environments where the people will combat each other, that again we don't really see. We do see some movies that are similar, but it's never the case that it goes to that extreme. And I think that if you haven't read the novels and you just seen these things, I think you're like, wow, because you really start to think like, how am I gonna get out of this puzzle? And so that's really cool that you get the audience to actually invest their time and thoughts into something like that. And so a lot of dystopian movies don't really do that. It's all about the survival and like at the end of the day, what does life mean to you and shit like that, like all those type of esoteric type of thinkings. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but. Speaking of, what did you think real fast on this? Because I know that the director said that was like his L to split the Mockingbird, I believe, or Mockingjay or something, part 1 and part 2. What did you think of that split? Because I thought it was kind of stupid, to be honest.
It was following. I know a lot of movies followed a trend where like they took the last minute, like Harry Potter did this with Deathly Hallows, like they wanted to split up into, and Twilight did it as well. Yeah, I thought it was unnecessary. Because I mean, I never read Mockingjay, to be honest, but I feel like it wasn't that long of a story that you needed to split. I think you could have got it out in one shot. Because even some movies even go like 2-3 hours. I was like, why not make it like a big spectacle too?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they probably did that was probably like a marketing thing in my opinion. Like
money.
It's all money. It's like common Warner Brothers W or whatever studio produced. I don't know, but I mean. I guess they were trying to play on the cliffhanger and that like because it was a huge franchise at the time, so I can see why they wanted to give it one more movie. But then it's like you already have the prequel coming. Maybe they weren't sure at the time if Suzanne Collins was probably going to put out another book. So maybe they were like, oh well, let's just like push this movie as much as we can push it out. I thought it wasn't necessary to be honest, but I did enjoy it nonetheless. I thought part one actually I like how they kind of cut it off with PETA like, and then he was like kidnapped, and then we weren't fans that never read the book were like, oh, what's gonna happen with PETA too, and like the whole thing with like President Coin. I love that ending so much. Like when she, spoilers ahead if you watched it, but I love when she killed President Coin. I thought that was like so symbolic because like it was supposed to be President Snow's execution, but then I always love that Katniss is like she's like the higher morality, like, and she's always being like exploited by like these different groups. It doesn't matter if it's like the Capitol or the rebellion. Like they always see her as like the moral compass of the people. So like for her, like in that instance, it's like she finally became like free in a way from all this exploitation, and she like kind of made her own choice. I was like, well, I'm gonna do me, but I'm also gonna like do what's best for everybody else. So I love that she took the future into her own hands in a way. I don't know, just something beautiful about that.
Yeah, she was like Miles. She was like, nah, I'm gonna do me.
Not bad, kid. Not bad.
Speaking of girl, what did you think of the ending when Katniss had a kid?
Man, Peter got to work. Shit, I knew he was a baker, but he put that bun in the oven. Yeah, I was like, I thought she was better with Peeta, to be honest.
Really?
I know a lot of people ship Gale, but I always felt like Gale was like, he was like, whatever.
Well, didn't Gale go through so much shit, like near the end or something? He got even burned and shit like that. Wasn't like a thing? And I think a lot of people were mad because it's like, bitch, why don't you go with Gale? Like he went through so much shit.
Well, he was the one that he was the one that told President keep mixing all these. I always said Biden. He told President Coin to bomb civilian. Now I'm just thinking Biden did it.
Yeah,
shit, it was like fucking Israel or some shit.
I would have put it past him.
Right. But yeah, he was like the one responsible. I thought he was gonna get a bigger punishment at the end after that whole like civilian bombing thing, but I guess
he just got a ticket and a plot of land to like live at, maybe at the end. Some food.
Yeah, and they gave him like a position of power or some shit. But I thought the ending was sweet for whatever, because it is a very dark story. And they could have easily went like, oh well, maybe she died at the end as like a martyr or something, but I actually like that she actually found like a happy ending. I don't know.
Yeah, the problem with me is that the Katniss and Peeta relationship always seemed really
forced.
Yeah, and which to a degree it is, right? They have to, like I remember in Catch a Fire or something, there was that whole thing, and it was really political. It just felt weird that she stayed with him at the end. Although then it kind of feels like, why were these people? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It was kind of like almost like a juxtaposition, like it was fake until they got out of the Hunger Games, and it's like, well, it's fake, but like this person that I've been with this whole ride has kind of been looking out for me, so it's like almost genuine. I don't know, because with Gale, I feel like it was like she liked him and she liked her, but like it was kind of like artificial.
Really,
I don't know. That's how I got it from the movies.
Should just went out with Lenny Kravitz's character. Like, Katniss, what are you doing? No, but he died too. I just remember he died. I think he did die. That's crazy. Yeah, a lot of people died in this too. It's like that always keeps you like surprised too. But for the most part, I think these movies are pretty. I'm not gonna say these movies are like, oh, they're perfect or something like that. But these movies, I think, are way better.
They stand the test of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I think so. The CGI wise, the decisions that they made, with certain elements, with details and stuff. Yeah, for sure. I think so. But I don't think there's like a huge fan base, because a lot of people that grew up sort of for the movies or like finishing off high school. Now they're like 26, nearing their 30s probably. And now they're going to watch this movie. And I just feel like it's kind of the wrong time.
It's kind of like you have to be there to enjoy it or something.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's just finished. You know what I mean? And I know, so the new movie's just showing like the origins of stuff, of how this shit got started. And plus President Snow, he's like a character in that movie when he's younger. And Rachel Zegler is like a love interest. And it's like, I don't know. And then also it's really weird how the novel came out so close to the movie. So it's like, it kind of seems like they just want more money. So let's see when we actually review it if the movie's actually good. If it's actually good, maybe it'll reignite the spark or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like the time was done.
The spark of the First Order.
Yeah, the First Order. That's how Disney is. Well, it's not even Disney. I'm mad that Disney got like fucked up. No, I mean, yeah, I think their time is kind of done. It's like bringing up Twilight again. You know how this new movie feels like? Yeah. This movie feels like that the author from Twilight, she made another book called The Host. I think a lot of people forgot about that. And they made a movie. This movie kind of feels like that. It kind of feels like The Host. For some reason, it's like, okay, cool. The trailer looked decent, but still, like, who really cares?
It's like a last hurrah for the franchise.
What? I mean, I know that people like to make money, so I'm sure that they're going to try and make a franchise out of it. Like maybe put 3 movies out of it. But I just really am uninterested. So yeah, I just feel like it's kind of necessary. I feel like this movie's kind of done already, but that's just shows you how good the Hunger Games was in the beginning. You know what I mean? At least better than Twilight. We should actually do a revisit for Twilight. I just had that idea.
I would love to. I would honestly love to go back and look at all the 2000 vampire movies.
Oh god!
And just talk about which ones I like. There's so many, but holy crap! I feel like we could do a whole let's talk about for that.
Yeah, I know. Well, what are your final thoughts on the Hunger Games franchise?
I think it definitely, if it weren't for the movies, we definitely would have got the all those memes of I volunteer as tribute.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing. Was it like this or something? Right. Didn't they do like that sign or something?
I used to know the whistle back in the day. Like that one.
Yeah.
But no, I think they're great films. I definitely think they stand the test of time, and I think it was a great chapter in our youth. And I think even though they're kind of, I don't want to say outdated, I think even newer audiences can kind of come to appreciate, even if they haven't read the books. And I think they are kind of great dystopian stories as well. I think it's interesting how they play it. And like you said, it's very political, but also kind of deals with social issues that young people face as well. And I think it's great for younger audiences as well. So awesome. That's my final thoughts.
Okay, well, definitely check these movies out. They're now streaming on Peacock. Every movie from the Hunger Games, and best of luck.
Good luck, all you tributes. Happy Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, volunteer as tribute to drop a like on this video if you actually enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. If you made it to the end, we appreciate you dearly. And fuck it, Dylan, take us away.
I'm getting hungry right now.
I'm getting hungry.
I'm just getting hungry.
That's why I'm pretty hungry now.
But yeah, guys, let us know if you guys are fans of the Hunger Games. Let us know what you've thought about it, the series, and what you think we'll see for the new movie. If you enjoyed it, or if you haven't, let us know down below. If you stayed to the end of this video, leave a like, sub to the channel. We do plenty of revisiteds, and we just did a Godzilla revisited. And yeah, we do plenty of content. But until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys. Stay hungry.
I'm fucking starving. Shit.